What's going on, guys? I'm back with another daily investment update video for you guys. This time we're going to be taking a look at my $5 a day investment into Vanguard's VTI. At the end of 2025, I had several people that had reached out and they said, hey, Clarence, can you start a $5 a day investment challenge, a new one? Right? These are some of the folks that saw my investment updates into VOO. They didn't jump in at the very beginning, but they wanted to start at the top of the year. So of course, we're gonna start a new $5 a day investment challenge, right? That's what we do here. We invest and we chill. But before we get to that, take a look. This is some of the merch that I'm thinking about dropping. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about this? Thumbs up or thumbs down, let me know. But the decision to invest in VTI came with mixed messages, right? There were some people that really love VTI. They thought it was a solid investment, which I agree. It gives you exposure to every single stock in the US stock market. And then others had questions, right? Clarence, you're already investing in VOO. If you invest in VTI, there's gonna be some overlap in your investment, which is absolutely correct, but I'm okay with that. I understand that investing in VTI gives me exposure to every stock in the US stock exchange, and investing in VOO is going to give me access to the top 500 companies in the US stock market. I understand that there's overlap, and I accept that that is how this investment portfolio is moving a little bit. And one thing that I always say, when you're looking for something to invest in, you have to invest in what works for you. There's always going to be someone that has an opinion or a comment on what you're investing in. And that's okay. People can have their comments, they can have their opinions, and I welcome that on my channel. I don't want everyone just to agree with me. This is a channel where everybody can get their thoughts off and we have discussion. That's one of the things that I really like about this channel. There are a lot of people that are in the comment section. They're having conversations and discussions about what is the best way to invest. And sometimes there are people that accept that, and maybe it has them change how they're looking at how to invest. But again, you're gonna have to select the investment strategy and the style that works for you. All right, so with that said, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna jump in. Let's just take a look at how this investment has been going. Guys, I have not looked at this. I'm gonna be looking at this in real time with you just to see how this investment has been performing. We've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs in the market, especially over the past several months with everything going on. So we're just gonna take a look and see how that has impacted this particular investment. So right now, you are taking a look at my investment in VTI, and as of today, I have an open P&L, $45.62, and I'm up 6.95%. So almost 7% in my investment since the beginning of the year. On the day, my P&L, $3.42, and I'm up almost 0.5%. So not a lot of movement in my P&L, and certainly not a lot of movement on the daily P&L, but every time that I see green, that's a good thing for me. So I like the fact that we're seeing that. And then right below that, we have a total market value, $702.20. We have a total cost basis of $656.58. That's how much of my own money that I've invested into this particular position. And then we have an average price, $347.42. We have a quantity, 1.88, so almost 2 full shares of VTI since the beginning of the year by investing just $5 every single day on autopilot. And right now, this position makes up almost 5% of this portfolio. And just as a reminder, or if you're new to this channel, I'm investing $5 a day into VTI. I'm investing $5 a day into Vanguard's VOO, $10 a day into VGT, and $10 a day into SCHD. And then the last price that we were able to purchase shares of VTI at today, $371.56. So we're just rolling right along. And as of right now, 7% is a little bit on the low side, but we're just gonna continue to invest and chill in this position. And we're gonna see what happens over the next several years of investing in VTI. And as you can see, I've just been on autopilot in this position. You can see that every single day Webull is going in, it's making that $5 a day purchase around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. I don't really have to do anything. Guys, I don't go in and check these because this is the ultimate invest and chill portfolio. I know that those investments are going in every single day. It's making its purchase and I don't have to do anything because everything is set up on autopilot. So as of the recording of this video, VTI was trading at $371.58. And if you look in the middle column there, I always like to show you guys the 52-week high and the 52-week low, because that gives me a benchmark of how this particular position has been performing over the last 1 year period. And as you can see, the 52-week high here, $373.63. So even with everything going on in the market right now, VTI is still trading near that all-time high. And I'm always curious, are we gonna break through that and continue movement to the upside? Or are we gonna start seeing some resistance once we get close to that 52-week high? So I'll be watching that very closely. And the 52-week low, $300.49. So we've got a $73 swing on the 52 high versus the 52-week low. And that's one of the main reasons that I always say I don't try to time the market. I just want to be in the market. And in this particular investment, we're investing every single day. But like I always tell you guys, you don't have to invest every day. I'm doing that for the purposes of this particular portfolio that I'm building out with you guys, but you don't have to invest every single day. Just make sure you're consistent with investing. And now we'll take a look at a yearly candlestick chart. So each one of these candles here represents 1 year of movement in this particular position. Take a look around 2007. This fund was trading at $22.40. Look at how much it has grown over the past almost 20 years. And that's one of the things that I always like to say, right? If you start out investing, especially when you're younger, if you can get into the market at 18, 19, 20 years old, by the time you're 40 or my age of 45, you can expect to see a tremendous amount of growth in your investments. And when you look at this price right now of $373 in 10 or 15 years, this could look like a steal. We could be going back and looking like, oh man, I remember when VTI was $373 a share. I wish I could buy it at that price point, because I believe that's what we're gonna look at in the future, unless we see a split in this fund, similar to what we saw with SCHD and VGT, because that does happen from time to time. Now let's take a look at a monthly candlestick chart. Since we started investing in this at the beginning of the year, I wanted to take a look on this chart. It goes back to September of 2025, but you can see that there's just been steady growth with some minor pullbacks. This market has been crazy over the past several years. Every single time I think we're gonna pull back and have a recession or be in a bear market, the market just bounces back and goes higher than ever before. I've never seen anything like that. And I'm just glad that I'm participating in those upside movements, especially after I've had an opportunity to average in when the price pulls back. All right, so now let's talk about dividends. VTI is not a dividend powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination. And as of right now, I've received a dividend payment of $1.80. So not a lot. And that's obviously been reinvested right back into my position. I always talk to you guys about reinvesting dividends. Signing up with that DRIP, dividend reinvestment program, automatically goes in and reinvest that money back into your position. $1.80 is obviously not a lot of money, but as we continue to grow out this portfolio and we start to see those dividends really start to grow, that's when it really starts to make a difference, especially in funds like SCHD, where it's a dividend play, right? In that fund, I'm now getting dividends that give me one full share of that investment. And as it continues to grow, that's only going to get larger. All right, so now let's just take a look at some of the comments that you guys left on my last update video. As you guys know, I always like to shout a couple of you guys out at the end of these videos and read out some of your comments. So the very first one that we'll read here, as I've said before, $3 in the SCHG, $3 in the SCHG, $3 in the FDVV, and now $10 in FXAIX every week, and looking to up in my SCHD position to maybe $5 a week. Look, shout out to you. And some people might read that and be like, oh, it's $3 here and that's nothing. I'm telling you, get started, once you get the ball rolling, once you start investing, you'll start to try to find new ways to get money to invest in your positions, right? You might start off by investing $25 a week now, and then in 5 years, you're investing $1,000 a week. I know it sounds crazy, but it happens because once you get focused and you see how much your wealth is building and how it's growing, it almost becomes like a game and you're just trying to figure out how to get that high score. At least that's how it was for me. So shout out to you. And then the next comment, VTI is my biggest holding in my Roth. I remember my first 37 shares at $65.70 per share. Guys, we just talked about that, right? We saw what this was trading at in 2007 at almost $23 a share, which is crazy to see that now. So imagine having 1,000 shares, 10,000 shares of this position at $350, 10 years in the future when it's trading at $700 or $800 a share. That's how you really build out real long-term wealth. And then the next comment here, I have been investing for right around 2 years now. I'm aiming for VTI plus VXUS and SCHG portfolio. I want to hold the entire stock market. Another great comment. And I'm really liking these comments that I've been seeing on the last few update videos because it seems like people are starting to understand and take ownership of how they want to invest. Just because I'm investing in VTI or VGT doesn't mean that everybody's going to copy and follow that. And that's not why I started making these videos. I started making these videos to show you how easy it was to get started with investing, and then you can decide how you want to invest to meet your needs. So shout out to you as well. And then the last comment I'll read here is from Investing with Rod. Investing with Rod, really cool guy. I did an interview on his channel. Rod, if you're watching this video, drop a link to that video that we did so everybody can check that out. But what's up, Clarence? Tapping in to see how VTI has been treating you. I hope all is well, bro. Look, we're right around 7% based on where we are today. Not great by any stretch of the imagination, but this is just a baby investment for me right now. We've only been investing in this for 6 months. So I'm willing to ride this out and give it time because I know that this is a strong investment. I'm not investing a lot of money into it, but I'm going to stay extremely consistent over the long term, right? We're trying to grow this portfolio out to $100,000. So my plan as of right now is to continue to invest in this position, into all of my positions, until I hit that $100,000 portfolio mark. All right, so guys, that's my update of my $5 a day investment into Vanguard's VTI. I hope many of you guys joined along the way since the beginning of the year. We started this so we can get as many new people as possible to investing in the market. So I'm hopeful that at some point you jumped in, and if not, there's still time. It's never too late to get started with investing. The best time to start investing is right now. And guys, don't forget, what do you think about the merch? It's Invest and Chill. It's the channel slogan. It's the channel motto. It's the theme over here. Everything that we do is we're looking at things from a long-term perspective, and we're looking to build our wealth out so we can enjoy our futures. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.